So, Boruto Chapter 70 is one of those chapters where a lot of theories get debunked, and we're gonna get into those theories later on in the video. But aside from that, we got some information about Eida'a's situation with Amado and why he didn't reveal her weakness to Shikamaru. Now, the explanation Amado gave didn't really make sense to me, and I'll tell you why when you get to that point in the chapter. We also got the reveal of Code's no limiters form, and it looks pretty cool. I will say that it looks very similar to Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and we're gonna get into that in the video as well, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, let's stop wasting time and let's get into this. So the chapter basically starts off from where we left it last month, with Shikamaru offering Eida'a a position in the village so that she can be close to Kawaki, and Eida'a is actually considering this. Eida'a then randomly activates her Senringan, which I found pretty weird, right? Because I understand that she'd want to check to see if anybody's coming, but the fact that she activated it at the exact moment Naruto arrived at the door is pretty convenient. And yeah, this is anime, but like they could make it more believable, you know? But yeah, she activates the Senringan and Shikamaru sees the eye and he's like, Eida's left eye. He's very surprised. He doesn't know what it is. Because I did see some people theorizing that Shikamaru knew what the eye was based on the spoilers, and I found that pretty weird. But yeah, this basically confirms that Shikamaru doesn't know what it is and he doesn't know what it does. So yeah. Code seeing this says, what do you think you're doing? You better not be leaving me behind. And Eida'a replied saying, shush Code, I have every right to consider this. Then we have Naruto arrive right outside the door. He starts to enter the pin, but it wouldn't work. So he shouts out to Ino that the door won't open. Then Ino replied to Naruto saying that it's to protect you guys from the enemy's jutsu, so could you just wait there for a bit? Now, I found this pretty weird, right? Because I understand that Shikamaru is his advisor and he should know what's happening there, but Naruto is the Hokage. You don't lock the Hokage outside of a room in his own village, right? You consult with the Hokage, which Shikamaru is able to do through Ino and explain the situation, and Naruto makes the decision to stay outside. So I found this pretty weird that Shikamaru felt like he could do this without consulting with Naruto, and Ino just goes along with the plan. Like, he is the Hokage at the end of the day, so you have to consult with him when you're doing something like this. You don't do it and then tell him to obey you. That just seems pretty disrespectful. But then Shikamaru replied saying, I don't have time to explain right now. It's a really delicate situation. Please don't interfere. Don't destroy the expensive lock system and force your way in here. The village's budget is already shrinking every year as it is. Now, this is a very weak reason for Naruto not to break that door down and go into the room. Now, understand like Naruto would get captivated by Eida'a, but Shikamaru telling Naruto about the village's budget for the door just seems like a waste of space on the panels. Like, why would you tell him this? Why is that necessary? Like, that wouldn't prevent Naruto from saving you. The actual reason why Naruto can't come in is because of Eida'a's jutsu. So the time Shikamaru took to tell Naruto about the village's budget, he could have simply said, Naruto, you can't come in because the enemy's jutsu is going to captivate you and you won't be able to move. That's very simple. So the time he took to say this, it just seems weird. Like, why? You know, why take the time to put this in there when it's not going to change anything? It doesn't add to it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a writing issue. Like, I don't see the reason why Shikamaru would say this to Naruto in this current predicament, in this situation. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, Shikamaru had time to tell him. He could have just told him, yo, this is Eida'a's ability. You can't come in. Don't come in. You're gonna get affected. Simple. Like, it would have made sense why Naruto didn't break the door down. Now people are saying Naruto is door level because Naruto just stood outside. Why? It would have been very simple to cover this little mishap here with just a couple words, you know? So yeah, it's just unnecessary in my opinion. Then we have Sasuke and Boruto arrive right outside the door, and remember this when you get to another point in the chapter. This is very important. This is when Sasuke and Boruto arrived. Remember that. Then Eida'a acknowledges that Naruto is outside and then tells Shikamaru that she knows that he told his partner to lock the door. Now people might misconstrue this and think that Eida'a somehow read Shikamaru's mind or he could listen to their conversation, but that's not the case. She's just making a simple deduction from the knowledge she has that that's what Shikamaru did, because the Hokage himself can't come in, the door won't open. So it's pretty logical to assume that he did it because he knows about her ability. It's just a simple deduction. I don't think she can read minds. Now Amado then explained to Shikamaru that the ability that Eida'a is using to see everywhere is called the Senringan. She can see what's happening anywhere in the world. And Shikamaru says what? So this again adds to the idea that Shikamaru doesn't know about this ability, he has never seen it before. Then Amado continued saying that furthermore, it's not limited to current events. By and large, he can view past occurrences too. meaning that you can't hide anything from her for the most part. So he does understand that they can hide what they're saying right now. She can't listen to them. So that's the most part he's talking about. Then Eida'a says, I'm surprised, to be honest. I ought to be just another Kara remnant to you. I assumed you'd see me as an enemy. But you're right, there's no cause for hostility between me and Konoha. Then Shikamaru replied saying that originally no, but now if you continue helping Code, you will be considered Konoha's foe. Then Shikamaru says Konoha are Code. Think long and hard, which side is the better pick? Then we move over to Kawaki and Sumire having a conversation, so Kawaki hasn't left as yet. So Kawaki says, if I hadn't had it, Lord Seventh would be dead right now, referring to his karma. It's the first time I was grateful to have it from the bottom of my heart, and I realized I need it. So yeah, Kawaki is basically realizing that he needs the karma to take on these threats. Now, I wouldn't say he needs it specifically. If he had another power source, then he wouldn't need karma itself. I think Kawaki just needs power in general, not karma, but karma is what supplies him with power. So he attributes power to the karma, which is why he thinks he needs karma itself. So if Kawaki had another power source that makes him able to protect Naruto, I don't think he would want karma. Sumire then brings up her mistrust in Amado. She says that I feel like the reason why Mr. Amado is so hung up on your karma is for his own purposes. And Kawaki seems to be interested in hearing more, so he might believe her. I think he will. Then we go back over to Amado's side where we see Code still torturing Amado, and Amado saying, Shikamaru, I can't take much more. And Shikamaru replying saying that hang in there, Amado, he won't kill you. If you die now, he'll never get his limiters rescinded. He would be the one in trouble. And think, if you remove them, then he really has no further need of you and will kill you for sure. And Amado says, I think I'll die of shock before that. So this is what I said in my previous review of the prior chapter, that if Amado does release the limiters, it seems kinda weird that why do you do this, because he'd just kill you afterwards. But then Amado is saying here in this chapter that he's basically going in shock because of what Code is doing to his body. So and I understand that Amado does have a limit because he's human as far as we know. So I do understand like why he would want to just die instead of just being tortured forever. So I'm not gonna say that because Amado removes the limiters that he's definitely up to something, and that might be the case, but it also might be the case that he just has low tolerance and he's very old, so you can like understand. So yeah. Eida'a then says out of nowhere that, oh no Code, we need to retreat now, hurry. And then she says that Kawaki is coming, he'll be here soon. So she used her centering gun and saw that Kawaki is on his way, which Shikamaru overhears and says the only door to this room has been sealed, but Kawaki's got Sukuna Hikona. He could be planning to shrink himself and enter via an air vent, which is exactly what he did. Then we get an image of Kawaki flying or running over to the battlefield, and he has Ishiki's dojutsu active. Keep that in mind for later on. Shikamaru then deduced that it's possible that they want to get away quickly because Kawaki has the ability to shrink Code's claw marks. And then Amado commented saying that there are exceptions to who Eida'a can entrap, which is who she can captivate with her ability. One is a blood relative and the other is Otsutsuki. Shikamaru then replied asking, you mean like Kawaki and Boruto, Eida'a's ability won't work on them? Amado says correct, and then Shikamaru replied very angrily saying, why didn't you mention such crucial intel sooner? Amado then says, if I had, you would have summoned Kawaki here right away to have him fight them. And Shikamaru replied saying, and what's wrong with that? Wouldn't that be the best move for the situation we're in? Then Amado said, give me a break. I can't afford to have Kawaki die. He almost died last time, and that was without Eida'a. Sorry, but I won't let you risk him like that. He then says to Shikamaru that Kawaki's presence has got to be a headache for you. I can't blame you. He was a seed of trouble to Konoha from the get-go, and now not even Lord Hokage can check his power any longer. If I were in your shoes, I'd be thinking it'd be the most convenient if Code or Kawaki or both died fighting each other. Now, let me just say this. I do agree with Amado that Shikamaru probably doesn't like Kawaki. He'd rather Kawaki not be in the village. That much is evident. But his explanation as to why he didn't tell Shikamaru is ridiculous. Because you have to remember two things, right? Kawaki is Otsutsuki and Boruto is Otsutsuki. And to be honest, Boruto is even more Otsutsuki than Kawaki because he's 100% pure Otsutsuki, Kawaki isn't. So Amado, being this smart scientist, is so smart, right? He knows everything, he's very smart. he knows that Eida's ability will work on everyone in the village beside Boruto and Kawaki, and he knows that Code is going to need him to remove the limiters. He doesn't want to do that, and he probably guessed that Code is probably gonna kill him afterwards, or he's gonna kill him if he doesn't. So you're in this predicament and you have this grand scheming plan with Kawaki. You don't want Kawaki to die, I understand that, but if you die, how do you achieve this plan? Wouldn't it make more sense to tell Shikamaru that information so that he can relate to Ino and Ino can send in Kawaki or Boruto or both of them to end this very quickly? Why would you know that Boruto and Kawaki are immune to Eida's abilities, and you know that Kawaki can pack Code up because that's what he did, and you wouldn't summon them to the battlefield in hopes that they would win, even if you assume that Kawaki can't beat both Eida'a and Code, which is a very interesting power scaling feat for Eida'a, because if he thinks that Eida'a is so strong that Kawaki wouldn't be able to beat both of them, that he thinks that it's possible that he would die, even though he knows that Kawaki clapped Code, because I'm pretty sure Kawaki relayed that information, or at least Shikamaru did. So if he believes that certainly, then why would he think that Kawaki would lose? That means Eida'a really scales above in combat ability. She really scales high if he thinks that Kawaki would lose because both of them are there. Now you could factor this into the fact that he doesn't really know how Kawaki got knocked out the first time. He probably thinks that Code has some ability that can knock out Kawaki. He doesn't know that Damon is the one who did it. So that could be why he's extremely cautious. He doesn't know. So again, you could give him that like out there because of that reason. But then again, if you die, you can't complete your plan. If Naruto comes in, he can't save you. If Sasuke comes in, he can't save you. Shikamaru can't save you. No one in the village can change your current situation. The only person who can is you by providing that information. The only two people, the only two ninjas in the village who can help you are Kawaki and Boruto. And you withheld that information because you were concerned that Kawaki would die. But you weren't concerned that you would die. You wouldn't be able to complete your plan that you're trying to complete with Kawaki. It just doesn't make sense. And even if he didn't want to bring Kawaki in, he could have simply said, okay, it wouldn't work on Otsutsuki's, but guess what? You have to be 100% Otsutsuki. And we know that Boruto is 100%, so you have to send in Boruto, not Kawaki. If you send in Kawaki, she's gonna control him. So you have to send in Boruto. Like, it's that simple. And, you know, we hype up Amado as he's this smart guy, and he couldn't even think of that sly way to get Boruto there only and leave Kawaki behind. He couldn't really think of that, which is kind of weird. So as I'm saying, that the entire situation is just stupid. He could have relayed that information in a way that it benefited him. And if he got Kawaki and Boruto there, I'm sure they would have been able to handle the situation, unless Eida'a scales to some extreme level that we don't know about. That's the only explanation for this. That's the only way this makes sense. Amado then says that Code and Eida'a are planning to retreat. Let them. Don't even think about stalling them until Kawaki gets here. You'll get another chance to take them down, and it wouldn't hurt to give Kawaki and Boruto time to get stronger first. So again, these kinds of things that he's saying is kind of like he's implying that they aren't on Eida'a's level, or Code and Eida'a's level. Now we know how strong Code is, and we know how to gauge him as in comparison to, like, let's say a Boruto in Karma V3 or Karma V2, and Kawaki in his Karashiki state. So the thing we don't know about is how Eida'a factors into that power scaling metric, but I think we'll know soon enough. So Code then kicks Amado through the portal, and then Shikamaru tries to delay them using his shadow paralysis, and Eida'a just tells Delta to attack him, and Delta just does it because she's under the influence of Eida'a. So we do know this basically confirms that she can influence you to move. Like, it's not that she just prevents you from hurting her, she can legit tell you to do something and you do it against your will. So that much is confirmed. Now we did have a very interesting power scaling feat here with Eida'a and Shikamaru, which I'm sure the Delta fans are not a fan of, and I'm gonna run with it for now, but obviously I don't think that Shikamaru is faster than Delta. Delta, I don't think she was kicking at full power. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's possible that she's just trying to throw him off balance so that shadow paralysis would break and they can escape, right? I think that's what Eida'a told her to do. I don't think Eida'a wants to kill Shikamaru, and I don't think Delta wanted to do it either. And the fact that Delta stopped after the shadow paralysis broke, that proves that she wasn't trying to kill him. She's just trying to help them to escape. So I don't think that that was a full power kick. That aside, there's another problem I have with this entire situation. Remember earlier when I told you to remember that this is when Sasuke and Boruto arrived? Remember that situation. That was when Naruto was knocking on the door. That was almost at the beginning of the chapter, right? A lot of things have happened since then, and they have went through a lot of conversation, and they found out that yes, people who are Otsutsukified, they can resist the affection, they can resist Delta's ability. Like Shikamaru knows this, and he relayed that to Ino. Ino knows this because guess what? She's the one that's connecting them. She can hear their conversation. So Ino knows. And Ino knows that Boruto is right outside the door with Sasuke and Naruto. She knows this. And they're telling them to wait on Kawaki. Why? Boruto is right outside the door. He's also Otsutsukified. Why don't you let Boruto in? Shikamaru could have simply said, Ino, tell Naruto and Sasuke to get back, and then change the door or open the door so that they can come in, because she can change the code to the door wirelessly. That's what she did before. So she can open the door so that Boruto could go in and stop whatever is happening. Now, I don't know why they didn't do this. Is it that they don't have faith in Boruto's capabilities? Is it that they don't think that Boruto is strong enough to handle Code or Eida'a? Is that the case? Because if that's the case, then I think the power scaling is basically kinda confirmed here that Kawaki is stronger than Boruto. Because remember that throughout the entire chapter, no one is calling for Boruto, even though they know that Boruto is also Otsutsukified. Amado even mentioned this, like Shikamaru mentioned this, that Kawaki and Boruto, they're in the same situation. Why didn't you tell me? I could have called them. But yet, Ino knows that Boruto is right outside. Eida'a knows that Boruto is right outside. And no one's worried about Boruto. Like, no one cares. It's just Kawaki. They're scared of Kawaki. So I think this kind of like logic that they're using and how these characters operated in this situation, they don't believe that Boruto has the power or the capability to take on these characters. But they do believe that Kawaki could. Or at least Shikamaru does, and everybody else does, even Eida'a does. But Amado kinda is on the fence because he doesn't know what can happen. But I do believe that they all believe that Kawaki is stronger than Boruto. Eida'a and Code then left through the portal on the wall, and Code said to Shikamaru that despite how it looks, I really don't like provoking extra animosity, but Nara Shikamaru, I've decided to add your name to my retribution list, so prepare yourself. And Shikamaru says, get lost already and never show your mug here again. Now I think this is kind of foreshadowing a Shikamaru pack that we will be smoking in the upcoming chapters. I think it's possible, and I think that Code has some vengeance here because Shikamaru has been talking smack, like he has been doing a lot of shit. So I think Code has enough reason to want to pack him up, so we'll see how that goes. We then have Kawaki arriving through the air vent as Shikamaru predicted, and then he just enlarged back into the original size that his ability allows him to do, which is Sukuna Hikona. And something that's pretty interesting is that he doesn't have Ishiki's dojutsu active. So I spoke about this briefly in the spoiler video that I think it's possible that Kawaki can use the dojutsu in base, but like he doesn't have it active here, so like how is he using the ability? So you're telling me that in the split second that he switched between his peony size, his small size, to his big size, he just deactivated the jutsu, especially since he's going into a room that he thinks the villains are in. Why would he deactivate his dojutsu? Like at that exact moment, it doesn't make sense. So it's either Kawaki can use the abilities without the dojutsu, which would be ridiculous, or it's a drawing error. But then again, like in the upcoming panels, Kawaki still doesn't have the dojutsu. So it's like he turned off the dojutsu mid-flight before he landed on the ground, which is weird. I don't know why they decided to do that. It just doesn't make sense. Then we have Amado and Code in the Land of Snow in his base, his little area that he has. That's where he freed Eida'a, I believe. And then Amado says, damn it, Code, Damon too, because he's now seen Damon, which means that Shikamaru never told him that he saw a small boy. Because I think if Shikamaru told him that, he could have pieced things together, but he didn't, which is weird. Amado then says that I'll remove the limiters right away without any resistance. In return, please, I beg you, just spare my life. And Code says, how pathetic, especially this late in the game. Don't you have any pride, Amado? Amado then folded and says, there's no dress code, which is basically the code that is used to release Code's limiters. And then Code basically transforms into his no limiter form, which looks pretty cool. And we've seen some drawing of it that's in white, or he has like orange hair or some shit. But yeah, I think because like Damon then says white, people believe that his hair is now white. And I don't know if that's definitely the case, but I welcome it. I think he would look pretty cool, especially from the concept art I've seen, the fan arts. He looks really cool with the white hair. So I think that would be a good direction to go. Now, I don't think they're going to explain how or why his hair is white, but yeah, I don't really care. It just looks pretty cool, so why not? And another thing that we've seen here is that Code's fingernails are now black, like Ishiki's, or like he has new power or whatever. I don't know why his fingernails would turn black, because as we know, the karma he has from Ishiki doesn't give him like Ishiki's DNA, and we don't even know if it's from Ishiki, to be honest. But yeah, the karma he has supposedly from Ishiki, it's not Otsutsuki-fying his body, it's not giving him Otsutsuki DNA. So I don't know why he would get like a genetic change in his body from just pure power, but like we know nothing about the white karma, so yeah, like it could be like something different. I don't know, but yeah, we'll know soon enough. Then Code says that it's nice, feeling like I can't lose to anyone. And then like you have Eida'a and Damon's reaction. Now Eida'a is just looking like okay, and Damon is like okay, I'm not impressed. So I don't know, maybe they're still stronger, maybe they can still beat him, but yeah, I don't know. Eida'a did imply that they could beat him even after the limiters were removed, so that might be the case. Or maybe she overlooked something and that might not be the case and Code is gonna pat them up. Like, we'll see what happens, but this is gonna be pretty interesting to see how it plays out next chapter. Then we have Code kind of threatening to kill Amado, so he's in the position to slash him. I don't think Amado is gonna die here. I think something's gonna happen. Maybe he offers something, maybe he uses some ability, or maybe something happens to Code. He just starts to like hold his chest and starts dying, and Amado says, this was my plan all along, and Eida'a says, yeah. And Amado says like, thank you for your help, Eida'a. Like, I don't know, like some shit might play out here, but yeah, we shall see. All in all, that's all for the chapter. We got a lot of information here, and I said like some theories were debunked. Like I think one thing that we could say was somewhat debunked is that, again, like, you know, Shikamaru knew about the Sharingan, he knew that it was really, knew what it does and all that jazz. I don't think that was the case, and this chapter kind of proved that. And you could say that this chapter kind of debunked that Amado was in control of everything. But as I said just a few seconds ago, like, this could still be a part of his plan that he's using against Code. But I still don't see why he'd go through all of that just to get to this moment. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, it could be that this debunked that point that, yeah, Amado isn't in control here. Like, he doesn't know everything. He didn't plan Code to come to the village. He didn't plan Eida'a. Like, a lot of those things that we thought he was the mastermind, that might not be the case. And, you know, we have some other things here that it's kind of weird. But yeah, all in all, this chapter was really good. It's a really solid chapter. Not much action, but we got a lot of information. I have a few theories that I'm gonna like cook up, you know, to we can talk about it and see what happens. So stay tuned for new videos. I have a couple videos on the screen right now because I think it should be showing the end cards. You have the Naruto versus Sasuke video. I might put another video here, maybe the Drogon video. I don't know. I'll decide when I'm, you know, doing the editing and so on. But yeah, you have the Naruto versus Sasuke video here. You guys go support it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. You know, and you know, drop a like and so on, and you know, get it going. So yeah, this chapter was good, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.